What's up, everyone? I'm the Nature Hacker, and this is your world. So right now I want to talk about a smoking gun, I believe, of MOVI fusion, of producing gold from electricity. And that is volcanic lightning. Ladies and gentlemen, I had no idea that volcanic lightning happened. Maybe 10 years ago I might have seen some lightning in volcano clouds, but I didn't think anything of it. But anyway, after all of this theorizing and research into how gold is created in the earth, I had not stumbled on volcanic lightning, but I believe it's a smoking gun. In the interview I did with GeoStreber, basically I think a big hanging point is, how is this hydrogen sulfide gas rubbing on quartz crystal, how is that producing the high voltages needed to be able to create gold? I believe that was one big sticking point that he had, is like, how would that work? How would you create that electricity? And I think I had a pretty good explanation for it. But this is a smoking gun, ladies and gentlemen. We don't even have to have any of that theory anymore. All we have to say now is that this whatever processes create volcanic lightning, we don't even have to know. And I probably do know, and I can go into explaining how I believe volcanic lightning actually happens, and we will go into that. But we don't even need that. All we can say is, look, there's millions of volts coming out of the earth right there, and most of the volcanic lightning is happening right after the plume leaves the earth. You got these lightning flashes as this billowing plume is coming out. You get most of the lightning flashes are happening right as it's exiting. Okay, so I don't need any proof anymore at all. All I have to say is that, look, there's your millions of volts. The millions of volts is there. It's visible, it's measurable. So there's the millions of volts. So all we care about is iron oxide, millions of volts, and we're producing gold. So I would think that's a big smoking gun. That's a giant piece of the puzzle. That you don't have to take my word for it that the hydrogen sulfide rushing past the quartz is going to charge the quartz and blah blah. You don't have to have that. We know that there are millions of volts one way or another coming out of the earth there. Those millions of volts could be the source of voltage we need to get fusion. And we do know that fusion and nuclear events happen at very high voltages. We're talking about electron volts, we're talking about voltages. Again, I've had to explain this a couple times, but electron volts are the kinetic energy component of volts. So volt is a potential energy. When you convert volts into a kinetic energy, you have electron volts. Okay, there is a conversion. It's called a potential energy to a kinetic energy conversion, and you can look up potential energy versus kinetic energy. So that's what that is. Now, that's pretty much it. Now I want to go into how I think that volcanic lightning happens, because it's still a mystery. They still don't know exactly how or why it happens. They know the ash is involved. There's probably water vapor involved too, because there is a lot of water vapor in these volcanic eruptions. So the way I think it happens is, yes, I do think ash is involved, because we have seen that there is evidence of little spheres of glass being created after a volcanic lightning storm. So we're getting glass, and they say that glass is from ash melting. Okay, now what that tells me right off the bat is that this ash is actually created out of silica. So this ash is very small conglomerations of silica. Now, primarily silica. Okay, now we know that silica can hold a charge. You can charge silica, and that is the whole point of the quartz in my theory on how gold is created in the earth. The quartz is there to basically transfer a charge, to hold a charge, to be used as a capacitor, basically. So what's happening is all these little pieces of ash, of silica, are being charged up with hydrogen sulfide, probably, and so there's also positively charged things ejected in lightning. So in order to create a lightning bolt, you need a source of electrons and a sink of electrons. You need a positively charged thing, which is a sink of electron, and a negatively charged thing, which is a source of electrons. So the electrons will be like, man, I really want to go to that. So here's the electron. He's like, I really want to go to that positively charged thing over there. So I'm willing to jump all the way to get there. You know, basically what's happening is there's such a differential in charge that the electrons want to jump from one to the other. That's how lightning bolts happen in any type of electrical discharge. So what's happening is you have these charged pieces of silica, okay, and you have, which I am guessing that that's going to be the negatively charged part in this circuit, and then you have positively charged stuff being ejected as well. I can't remember. I don't think they. I don't remember. I don't know what those positively charged things are. The articles I've been reading about volcanic lightning have said that there are positively charged particles emitted. So yeah, so here's what I'm thinking is happening is that the hydrogen sulfide is charging up the ash, okay? You have this ash coming out, and then there's also positively charged stuff in the ejecta as well, and so the negative charge from the ash discharges to the positively charged stuff there, and that's how we're creating the volcanic lightning. So it's charged ash really is what the primary driving force is. So mark my words, that will come out as, you know, in the future how this is actually happening, volcanic lightning. And the reason that I can figure this out is because I've been studying this type of thing, you know, as far as the how is gold created thing. So it's led me on a path to be able to figure out how volcanic lightning is working. And one interesting thing, I guess, is that volcanic lightning never strikes the ground. So it really, that to me means that there's both negative and positive charges in the plume that are equalizing themselves out, and that's how volcanic lightning happens. So there has to be positively charged particles up there. There has to be negatively charged particles. I think the ash is the negatively charged. It's possible it's positively charged. It could be that the quartz gets positively charged